Microsoft Outlook automatically stores email messages, contacts, appointments, tasks, notes, even journal entries in one of the following two locations. It might be in a personal storage folder, also known as a PST file, right on your hard drive. Or if you use Outlook with Microsoft Exchange Server, potentially it can be stored in a mailbox that is located right on the server itself. Now, typically, if you're using Outlook in a work environment, such as in a large organization, it's your IT department that manages the Exchange server and the backing up of your PST files. And of course, you can use a backup of your PST file to restore or move your Outlook data if you experience a hardware failure, or if you lose data unexpectedly, or have to transfer data from one computer to another computer, such as you might need to do when migrating from Outlook 2003 to Outlook 2010. Now, before you can make a backup of your PST file, you'll need to know where to find it. And the location depends on your version of Windows and whether or not you're on an Exchange server. If you use Outlook with a Microsoft Exchange server, the default delivery and storage location for Outlook data is the Exchange server mailbox. It's the Exchange server administrator who usually handles backups of the mailboxes right on the server. However, some Exchange server administrators choose to store Outlook data locally in a PST file right on your hard drive. So how do we find out? Well, first we need to figure out if we're on an Exchange server or if we're storing files locally. To do that, we'll go right up to the Tools menu in Outlook 2003, then select Email Accounts. This might start up the wizard, so you'll need to hit Next with View or Change Existing Email Account selected. This will allow us to view our account. And right away you can see mine is on a Microsoft Exchange server. You're going to see the type as Exchange. There it is right there in plain English. Now, what we just did here might not be available to some people on certain networks if the network administrator has removed the option to protect account information. So if you don't see those email accounts options on the menu, contact your network administrator for help. Now, if the name field contains something like mailbox followed by an email name, then Outlook stores it in folders on the Exchange server. If the field contains a word something like personal folder or the name of a set of personal folders or PST files, then Outlook will store new messages, contacts, appointments, and other data in a PST file locally right on your hard drive. So now it's time to actually locate the file. Let's do that. So we'll cancel this and we'll open up a Windows Explorer window. And from here, we're going to go into the C drive or the hard drive. Now, if you're using Windows 7 like I am or Windows Vista, this is the path you'll follow. First, we'll select C. Then we're going to select Users with a double click. Find your own username and double click there. Right at the top, you should see App Data. Double click that. Then it's Local. We'll double click there. Now you can see we've got some options for Microsoft down below, and we do want to go to Microsoft and double click there. Now we can scroll down a little further and we should be able to find Outlook. We double click that folder and here's where you're going to look for PST files. Look at this, we've got a couple here in my directory. You might see it called Outlook.pst or you might see a different name. It all depends on your installation. Now, if you're a Windows XP user, the default location is a little different and it may even be hidden. Your PST file will be found in your Documents and Settings folder, then your username subfolder, then Local Settings, then Application Data, then Microsoft, and then finally Outlook. But typically by default, so-called system files like a PST file will be hidden from view from your local settings folder all the way down. So in Windows Explorer, you're going to have to right-click the Outlook folder to select properties from the pop-up menu that appears, and then deselect the checkbox labeled Hidden. And this will allow you to find your PST file in that folder. But once you found it and made it visible, you're ready to back it up.